Hey, and welcome to One Word Show. This is our special rapid fire edition. Pew pew. I'm Jason. I'm your host today, and we have a very awesome guest. Her name is Mikaia. Mikaia, thanks for coming on the show.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
I appreciate the last minute fill in for the nobody that I had booked, so it's an extra bonus. I appreciate that.
You don't have to talk to yourself for the
exactly. I don't have to talk to myself the whole time, which gets to be a bit tedious, but sometimes entertaining. One word rapid fire edition. For those, let's kind of get into that a little bit with what we have going on. This is a little different than our normal one word show.
Okay.
We have 10 words. We don't get to pick the order. You haven't seen them. I haven't seen them. They're gonna come up. They're gonna pop up one at a time. We're gonna have a minute to talk about each one, about whatever comes into our head. There's no, we'll just see wherever the word takes us.
Okay.
And then we'll pop into the next word till we get through all 10. And then if we feel like we missed anything that we need to throw on there as a caveat on the end, we'll rock it out.
Sounds good.
Seems pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not too much of a pressure. And I even have a fancy boxing timer that's gonna be. It's not fancy, and I don't box, but it times in intervals, which is a bonus.
Okay.
So once I get our first word, I will hit start on this thing, and we will rock it out. And our first word is narrow. Narrow, what I am not. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I am not a narrow person by any stretch of the imagination. I do feel like, narrow, anything that pops into your head for you?
A narrow hallway was the only
thing. A narrow hallway, yeah, no, that works. Narrow workspaces.
Yeah.
Things that seem to be getting narrower, I think, are roads. For whatever reason. Maybe you could argue the cars are getting bigger, but I definitely feel like the lanes are getting more narrow.
I think it depends on where you are.
That's true. I guess the more country you are, the more narrow those roads get as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some of the side streets here in Milwaukee are pretty tiny as well.
Oh, no, yeah. Some of the side streets in Milwaukee scare me, which is why I don't like to drive in downtown Milwaukee if I don't have to.
Yeah.
The Narrows, isn't that a Batman thing? I think it is. Gotham City, don't they have the Narrows?
I don't know.
Aren't you're supposed to be our resident? Oh, is that a different category?
That's a little bit of a different category. I don't really do comics very
Okay,
much.
all right. Well, that's okay. We'll move on to our next word then. Our next word is spoil, which is what I don't like to happen for most movie things. I'm against spoilers and spoiling the ends of movies. Just keep your mouth shut. I mean, seriously. Now, it's different when people are mad about you and it's been out for like 2 months. That's kind of your fault, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think you have to wait till it comes out on like DVD or Redbox at least before you start spoiling stuff.
Is that a good rule for spoiling, as long as it's
I think
you give
so.
it time?
Yeah, because some people, like my family, don't go to theaters, and so they wait till it's at Redbox or like Family Video.
Oh, sure.
Then we watch it at home. So
going
like,
old school with the walking in the store. There's nothing wrong. Little nostalgia probably going with that.
Yeah, a little bit.
So
like Best Buy, or not Best Buy, Blockbuster.
I was like, you can only buy them at Best Buy right now.
Probably.
Blockbuster. I heard of some of they actually had one. There's one still open somewhere.
Really?
I remember reading about that, thinking that must be clickbait, and then I didn't read any more about it, so I'll just assume. Next word, moving right along. Fix. Man, you go anything with that way. You can fix a race.
Mm-hmm.
Set it in your favor. Fix the game if you're a gambling person. Do you gamble? No, I don't gamble either. Just my life every time I get behind the wheel of a car. You fix. Are you good at fixing stuff in general? Are you a handy person, if you will?
Really?
No.
Haven't really had an excuse to use my tools for the most part.
Yeah.
I have them, but
if you had to fix a flat tire, could you do it? Oh no!
Probably?
You thought about that too long.
I don't drive.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Well, okay. So that does go against you. If you don't drive, it's a little bit harder to change fuel in the car. But you hesitated long enough to make me worry that you would die in a snowstorm. If you had to get out and change the tire, you had to think about that way too much.
You might.
All right, let's see what our next word is. These go by so fast. Distinct. Well, distinct. That's a very. I don't know. I don't even distinct. Where do you go? I mean, where do you go with that? There's a distinctive taste.
Yeah. I don't know. I misheard it as distinguished at first.
Oh, okay.
I don't really have anything for that though either. So
you misheard something not even useful.
Yeah.
That's the worst. You're like, I totally misheard it like this. Oh, I can't use that either.
Yeah.
Crap.
I could not come up with anything for either, to be honest.
I mean, well, okay. The best I do with the distinguished is beard. Yes, it's
monocle.
Distinguished. A monocle. Yes. If I had a monocle, that would make me even more distinguished, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I should really look into that.
You could have two instead
I was
of your
gonna
glasses.
say, can you do 2 monocles?
You probably could try.
That's awesome. And then you just look weird. Like, now you're almost doing like well, the time's out. We'll have to talk about it another time. Distinct. Our next word is milk. I heard it does a body good. Mm-hmm. It's probably my favorite beverage of the day. I start
really?
off. Oh, you shivered like the milk had come after you in a bad dream sometime.
I don't like milk.
What?
I'm not like lactose intolerant, but like I get really sick if I drink or eat ice cream or like anything with milk in it.
Well, I feel bad for you now suddenly.
And like as a baby, I was like really allergic to milk, so like my mom had to be super careful what baby food she bought because otherwise it would just
projectile
end up everywhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
No. Yep. No.
Yeah. So.
Well, I had milk's my favorite drink. I do a quart every morning.
Really?
Yeah. Every morning I do a quart of whole milk. None of that crappy bullcrap milk. Whole milk. The good stuff. And then the allergic to milk, one of my nephews, super allergic to everything, and milk would happen to be one of them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was sitting in the kitchen one day, and all of a sudden he projectile. I was like, oh, the baby's broken. Somebody get help in here. Next word. Moving away from that. That's something to think about tomorrow. Ocean.
Ocean.
It's my girlfriend's favorite place to be. She loves the water. Mm-hmm. You ever been to the ocean?
A couple times, yeah.
Which one? Or you can just pick a side if you can't remember which one's which.
I think I've actually only been on the Atlantic.
Okay.
Actually.
All right. The Jersey side?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's more like, yeah. This is the armpit of America, so we have that going for them.
Yeah, because, I took a road trip, like, forever ago with my family along that coast. And then also, I was in the UK, so, like, the ocean I was on over there was also the Atlantic. So
no, for sure.
It was just all Atlantic.
You had them both covered.
Yeah.
No, that was. Did you get in the ocean when you went down there to visit, or did you just kind of watch it from a distance?
I like to watch from a distance.
Yeah. Seen too many Jaws movies?
Not even that. I'm just very intimidated by the fact that you can't see like anything below you.
Okay.
I have like the same thing with space, like watching movies that take place in outer space terrify me because it's just endless nothingness.
Oh, she thinks it's a good interview. She's giving me all kinds of fire for when we work together later. Let's move on to the next word. Rainie. Rainie. That's water. Mm-hmm. That's water falling fast. Is that something? Does rain terrify you?
No.
No.
I actually love rainy days.
I'm a huge fan. There's nothing better. In the South, you get those tin roofs in some of those areas, and that heavy rain. Oh yeah, I bet. Just lay back and just relax, right? What's your favorite activity? What's your favorite rain activity?
Well, cliche, but video games.
Oh, I should have seen that coming.
Yeah, probably.
I should have seen that coming.
Rainy days are like the perfect excuse to just stay in your pajamas all day and either watch TV or play video games.
No, well, and I'm going to have to remember that, to use it as an excuse next time I decide to stay in my pajamas all day. Detail is our next word. Detail is important. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a good eye for detail, you could have, I cook as well, and if you're not an eye for detail, it couldn't be as good as it possibly is. Well, and with what you do as an editor, you have to have an eye for detail, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is the most, what's the toughest thing about that in your job?
I think
for the detail wise.
Timing is very important in editing.
Oh, sure.
Because it's something that if you get it off even a little bit, it's not necessarily super noticeable, but it'll definitely feel wrong. Whereas if you get it just right, it's like super satisfying.
No, sure. So you get to pay attention to that extra detail, and it's just a smooth transition. And the other way, it's almost like in the back of your mind, you just feel like someone's staring at you in a weird way. Like, I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah.
That's fair. No, this is my favorite word. Our next word is bizarre.
Oh, all right.
Yes, which is to use to describe most of my family.
Yeah.
And my work ethic. What is? She's like, now I'm nervous about being on the show.
Didn't say that.
I could feel it in your judgment. What does bizarre mean to you?
I guess, honestly, also my family.
Yeah?
My
Nice.
mom's side in particular.
Okay. What makes them... Mine are weird, and I can go into that later, but let's talk about your family. You're the guest. We'll talk about your family.
Okay. Well, my mom and her sisters are very close, and sometimes it gets a little weird, and they have little dances and, like, songs that nobody knows where they came from, but they just do them, like, if they're winning at card games or if they're cooking in the kitchen together, and, like, none of us really know where they come from, but they all do them in sync.
That's kind of bizarre, though. That is awesome. You got to make sure you get like some of the history of that. Do your sisters do the same thing?
No.
No. Okay, maybe it's the era they grew up in as well.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for our last word? We're almost through this. You've been doing a great job.
Thank you.
Neighborly.
Right.
That one, for me, I think there's a problem with like neighborly. We're not that way anymore.
Yeah.
When I was growing up,
true.
I could tell you who the neighbors were at least in 10 of the houses around us on the block. I can't even tell you the name of the person that lives next door to me right now on either side of my house.
Yeah.
I know by faith I couldn't tell you what their name is. Couldn't tell you at all.
I live in an apartment building and I don't know like anyone on my floor.
Yeah. You think like neighborly, I think of communication and stuff like that and being able to reach out, and that's something I think that we've definitely lost.
Yeah.
Maybe spending too much time in games and phones and video games. She's like, I'm not gonna admit to that. I love video games way too much.
Yeah.
But you got video games to be more neighborly as well. So
yeah.
You, Mikaia, you've made through 10 words. 10 words up, 10 words down. You rocked it out.
Thank you.
Anything you want to add on to the end that we missed from those wonderful words?
It's good we're both bizarre.
No, absolutely. Finding a commonality among people is always good. Guys, gals, if you like the show, you know what to do. Subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, comment down below. We'll take all comments. If they're wrong, we'll let you know. You can follow us on Facebook at Facebook, not at facebook.com, at onewordshow.com, and then you can also see more episodes on our website at onewordshow.com. If you guys want to be on the show too, hey, hit us up on Facebook. Let us know. All right, we'll see you next time.